Assalamu alaikum. Alright, so don't mind the noises in the back. There's someone getting married over here, and I just found this place to be a good theme for a story time. So yeah, we're gonna be doing it over here. So don't mind the noise in the background. It's a beautiful day for someone, so let's enjoy it. Alright, so there used to be a legend in ancient Japan that a person should not go in long, empty, and thin streets at night after 9:45 p.m., as the man with the lantern head will chase them down and kill them mercilessly. Of course, the mothers in Japan used to scare their kids to sleep before 10 p.m. But how much truth does this story hold? Let's find out through Akio's story, who was a man whose mother used to scare him to sleep every day through this myth. Or was it a myth? Let's find out. Akio, a young man in his 20s who works a 9 to 5 job with a decent salary, but does not earn enough to support him to start a family with anyone. One day, Akio's boss asked him and one of his colleagues, Ben, who was an American, to work overtime. And the boss offered a huge bonus in their paycheck. The work was till 8:30 p.m. for both of them that day. They worked very hard, and at the end of the shift, both of them agreed on eating burgers at an American restaurant, which makes authentic American burger. I don't know if there's an authentic way of making American burgers, but okay. It was called Jeremy's Burger, and man was it delicious. Ben continued to praise the restaurant to Akio. Akio agreed that the restaurant was indeed having delicious food. And out of nowhere, Akio started feeling sleepy. At the time, he realized. Akio looked towards his watch. His face showed fear. Ben asked, "Are you alright, bro?" "No," Akio replied. "I know our time is bad, but how bad can it be?" "What's the time?" Ben asked. "It's 9:15 p.m., Akio replied. Ben laughed. "It's not even 12. Why have you made that face?" Ben asked Akio. So here it's shown that Akio is still scared of the story that his mom told him in his childhood, because it traumatized him to his adulthood, and even though he lives independently, that story lingers in his mind, and he has this phobia of being past the time he's supposed to be. "I need to be home before 9 p.m., he said to Ben. Completely clueless of what Akio is saying, Ben tried his best to calm him down. He gave Akio assurance that he will be in his home before 10 p.m. Akio calmed himself down by listening to that and said, "Okay." They both sat in one car, which was Ben's car, and drove to Akio's house. In the car, Akio asked Ben to drive fast, please. "Chill out, man. I know a shortcut," Ben said, as he turned left from his usual route. Akio, still panicking, said, "Just please drive fast." Ben pressed gas and took off, as Akio said and requested. So he pressed the race and went, and then released the race, and then pressed the race again, and then he didn't feel any acceleration in that race. And then slowly their car stopped completely. The worst time for a car to stop is when a man is terrified and really wants to be at his home. And yes, the car stopped in the middle of nowhere, and there was still quite some distance left, so they couldn't walk home. Seems like the batteries are dead, Ben said. We need someone's car to jumpstart this thing. Find someone to help us while I'm trying to fix this thing on my own, Ben said to Akio. The first thing Akio did was he looked at his watch. It was 9:37 p.m. Akio was terrified, but he decided to become bold, and he decided to take a step towards becoming a better and stronger version of himself. He's not a kid anymore, and he has to do this and get over his phobia. He started looking for someone for help. A kind man with his 2 kids stopped by to help, but they didn't have a tool to do the jumpstart process. Akio saw across the street, an empty street to be exact. There was a garage. They definitely will have the tools to do the process, Akio said to himself. Akio walked across the street to find an old man working on a car. He asked to the old man if he has the tool to jumpstart their car. He said he may have it in his back garage. The old man grabbed a lantern and asked Akio to follow him to go towards the back garage. So here it's an empty street with almost close to no lights. So the old man grabbed the lantern and they're heading towards the back garage. Akio started following him. Halfway through the way, Akio felt like he skipped a heartbeat. In that exact moment, he remembered to look at the time. It was exactly 9:44 p.m. and 55 seconds. The old man stopped walking and asked Akio, "Didn't your mom warn you about me?" Akio? How do you know my name?" Akio asked fearfully. "You should have listened to her, but now it's time to feel the pain, Akio," said the old man, screaming Akio's name. The clock hit exactly 9:45 p.m. In a blink of an eye, the man who was holding a lantern in his hand was now holding his screaming head in his hand and a lantern in place of where his head is supposed to be. Just imagine that. A head, a glowing head in his hand, which is screaming, and a lantern where his head is supposed to be. Just imagine, just imagine that. Akio started running, but it was no use, as the slim street was dark and now the only light was from the old man's glowing head. It was clear to Akio that this street is in that old man, or is it an old man anymore? But it was clear to him that it was in its control. It wasn't in his control to run out of the street anymore. So just simply putting it, that just means the street is endless. There is no running out of the street. No matter how much he runs, he is in an infinite loop. He cannot leave the street. The man is just standing there. Akio is running. When he turns around, the man is exactly behind him. He cannot run. But Akio didn't give up. Life was too precious for him to let go and give up. But the old man, being too powerful, threw his head, which was in his hand, towards Akio. The head, the screaming head, bit Akio's foot right here. This foot. This bit Akio's foot. Akio fell to the ground. The lantern man caught up to him and burned him alive with the flame burning in the lantern on top of his neck. Akio was found dead in his house the next morning, burnt alive. The end. Alright, so there is a fun fact in this story. Akio had a motion sensor in his house. The motion sensor detected motion at exactly 10 p.m. yesterday night, the night which Akio died. So it's up to you guys to make up theories about this story. That's just a fun fact, but it is related to a theory which is not exactly said in this story, but yeah, it can be made into a theory, and you do you guys. Let me know if you guys have any theories in the comments, and make sure to leave a like if you guys did find this story entertaining. I will be posting more stories, and it's gonna be horror or anything like that. Yeah, I'm trying to express my imagination over here. So yeah, so leave a like, it helps out the video to reach more people, and subscribe. And after subscribing, you get that bell, right? The notification bell. Just turn it on and you will be notified right after my video is out, and you can watch it as soon as possible. It's completely free, and later on, if you want to reconsider it, it's your wish. You can unsubscribe anytime you want, but right now, if you subscribe, that will help me out a lot. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next story time, inshallah. Ma salama.